Number one, she dropped 14 against the Bulldogs last year and leads the team in scoring this year.
She does. She's an active 5'9" junior who can really get it done for this Rice team, and you better believe she's hungry. Like you said, 12.8 points per game, and she is ready to roll tonight.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight. For Gonzaga, true freshman Allie Turner played her way into a starting role last week. These fans love her.
And what's not to love about the true freshman who can come in and do some damage early? Allie Turner is a great sharp shooter. She's a good teammate. She does so many good things defensively too. Expect a big game out of her tonight.
Rice is a smaller team. Michelle, only a third of their roster is more than 6 feet tall, so Susie Ngulafak needs to make an impact at forward.
Yes, they do, and they will struggle a little bit. Gonzaga has so much height, but man, if Rice can get active inside early and get to the rim, it's going to cause some trouble for the Zags.
Rice is on a 4-game winning streak, but this is their first road game of this season. Not an easy atmosphere to play in, Michelle.
No, it never is when you come into an atmosphere like this. 6,000 fans. You know, you see the red and blue all over the arena already. It gets really loud. You got to be ready to play.
Right off the opening tip. This Gonzaga team off to a 2-2 start this year. Wins against Montana and Wyoming. Expected losses to Cal and Stanford under head coach Lisa Fortier in her 11th season now. She's taken this team to 7 straight NCAA tournaments.
Yes, and very also known for that tough preseason schedule, like you said, Greg. Out of the chutes, they played some really hard ball games already.
Ejim wins the tip for the Zags, and off we go. The Bulldogs and Owls held each other to under 50% shooting when they played each other last year. Points might be hard to come by tonight. Claire O'Connor into the paint to start things off. And a big, good-looking shot to start the game for the Zags.
Well, you like to see that out of O'Connor right out of the chutes. I almost thought there could have been a foul there, too, but nonetheless, she made the bucket.
Encouraging to see her go after the basket aggressively, considering she has not scored a lot this year.
Exactly, and so you want to see her get aggressive early and put some points on the board.
Emily Klazak clanks it. O'Connor the rebound, and the true freshman, Allie Turner, will push and try to break Jazzy Owens' ankles. Betancourt working on Emily Klazak. 2 veteran guards. Turner for 3, you bet.
And that's a scouting report right there for Rice. Hey, Turner is a true freshman who can shoot the basketball. She's poised. They need to come across those screens and stay in her shorts and not give her any space for a shot.
Klazak into the lane, getting after it with a response for Rice, and the Owls are on the board. She's good in big games. She scored 10 against LSU in the tournament last year.
And it's something that the Zags are struggling with right now is that on-ball defense, getting beat off the dribble. So if she continues to do that, she's going to create havoc for the Zags.
A lot of up-tempo passing for the Bulldogs, and shooting, and Claire O'Connor nails it. Big 3. We have some contact down in the paint as well.
And it looks like they're saying the bucket counts, but the foul was after.
Yes, and this will be Rice ball on the inbound from Haley Adams.
Okay, yeah, big 3 by O'Connor, squaring up. You like to see the Zags get on the 3 glass early.
6 of their first 8 points have now come from downtown. They are shooting 45% this year as a team from beyond the arc. That's top 10 in the nation as Adams misses. And we have a foul before the shot. Rather, this will send Adams to the line.
You were saying, Greg, about Gonzaga's shooting percentage, and you're right, they do shoot the ball really well, but something that they haven't done a good job of thus far is defense. They're giving up more points to their opponents than they ever have in years past, and that's something that has kind of been their bread and butter, is being able to stop teams defensively. And so I know they're going to want to hone in on that and not allow some of these teams to get up as many points.
Klazak launches up another bad 3. Ejim corrals it, and Klazak is 0 for 2 from downtown to start tonight's game. And they need her to be better than that. She is one of their best 3-point shooters. Here's Turner. Already made a big 3. Hybens. Long off the back iron. and rebounded by Ennis. Mount Hybens, Michelle, is only shooting 30% this year. They need her to be better than that.
They really do. And you know what? That's not a bad shot from her. I've seen her knock that down before. She was, feet were set. I'm okay with that shot.
Klazak against O'Connor. Great pass. And Adams hits. That was good ball movement. Gonzaga thought with the shot clock winding that was not going to be where they were going.
And Rice has a lot of guards who can take you off the dribble. So that on-ball defense and that help side defense needs to be there. Right now, that rotation is just a little slow for Gonzaga.
Speaking of rotation, Claire O'Connor, her second three-pointer of this game already.
Hey, I guess beat them with threes, right? They're going to score twos. Gonzaga's going to score threes.
Rice doesn't know what to do in terms of tempo. Gonzaga's beating them up tempo and low tempo. Adams back into the lane and leaves it off for Ngulafak. That was a great last-second dump-off.
Beautiful. I mean, great court vision, just a nice little dump off to your big for an easy bunny. But again, that dribble penetration, that help side defense, that rotation is just not quite there for the Zags.
Hybens went for redemption, hard off the glass, and she's 0 for 2 to start this game. Rice is holding their opponents to 37% shooting this year. So far, Gonzaga shooting nearly 70% this game. Adams again on the post, and she converts.
It's the fundamentals right now defensively for the Zags. They're falling for shot fakes. They're getting beat off the dribble. I know for a fact Coach Fortier is probably a little unhappy with their defense right now, and they need to get it honed in.
After that 8-2 start to the game, Rice has now come alive. O'Connor throws it off the foot of Klazak. Gonzaga will go to the bench for the first time. McKinley Dalen checks in, and Cristabel Osorobo comes off the bench. That is by far the earliest we have seen her come into a game for this team this year.
Yeah, and maybe they're just looking for a little energy uplift. Come in and have some intensity, some energy. What the Zags are giving up in height to Rice, Rice is making up for it in intensity and their activeness. Their hands are all over the place defensively, and then they're all over the place offensively too.
Turner creates space for Dalen, down to Hybens, and Klazak with a great takeaway.
Yes.
On the move, working on the true freshman. Couldn't beat Turner, and now O'Connor runs for the Zags. She's already hit a couple of deep threes. Speaking of threes, Turner, you bet.
That is big right now. The fact that the three ball is open for the Zags is really what's helping them out as they're getting beat off of so many off-ball dribbles here.
The Bulldogs are 4 for 5 from downtown in less than 5 minutes to start this game. We're on the way to tacos, Michelle.
Yeah, we are.
Owens, the point guard, has been very quiet, and she'll stay that way after she clanks it. Turner on the move, already feeling aggressive, 2 for 2 from the field. Not a great inward pass to Hybens.
No, Hybens wasn't ready. She was still trying to create position. That's just a freshman move right there.
Adams unafraid in the paint. Big three around the knob from Ennis. They have managed to keep her quiet tonight. She still has not scored. And that out-of-bounds ball will send us into our first timeout. Bulldogs leading by 5 after some great outside shooting.
It's time for the What's in the Box Challenge. Let's see
Driving, lobs inside, alley-oop!
Both the Bulldogs and the Owls went dancing last year after the regular season was complete. Gonzaga made it to the Sweet 16 yet again. This Rice team went on an absolute tear through the American Athletic Conference tournament, lost to LSU in the first round. Michelle, can both of these teams get back there again this year?
I think both of these teams for sure can get back there this year, Greg. They have all the key components. We're seeing it tonight. These guys know how to perform in the NCAA tournament, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see these two play each other again in the tournament this year.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be awesome.
Gonzaga will keep Osorobo out there after she subbed into the game just before the break. Really impressive. They must like what they're seeing out of her on defense, Michelle.
I think so. She's bringing that intensity, that on-ball defense, not getting beat off that dribble, and that's exactly what they need out of her.
Gonzaga got beat on that inbounds pass. Luckily for them, Dominique Ennis missed, and their leading scorer still has not scored yet tonight.
No, she hasn't, and that's good for the Zags to just try to keep her quiet.
Here's Allie Turner, who has been so phenomenal. Look at the passing. Osorobo, a little bit long. Ejim, the offensive rebound, and the putback for two.
Hey, and that's what you want to see out of Ejim when she's got players who are knocking down threes. How's she going to get her points? By an offensive rebound putback.
When was the last time we saw her take 6 minutes to get her first points?
It's been a long time, yes.
That's because the rest of the team is working on offense.
Which is good. You want to see that.
Haley Adams rings it up. She has been really good down low. Give her 7 points now.
Yeah, and that was a nice little elbow jumper. She had range in there. She had an opening, and she took it. I mean, Rice is just, their flow offensively is really good. They're driving. They're knocking down their outside shots. They should feel good about their performance thus far.
After a slow start, Rice has kept this game close. Ejim on Ngulafak. Gave her just a little space. That one goes out of bounds. Michelle, you can't give her that much space.
No, you can't. Ejim can knock those shots down, and she's that player. You know, she just got that rebound put back on the play before. You don't really want to let her get going and get hot because she can go on a run.
Good movement, good ball screens from Rice. To the corner for Klazak. And she's finally got her first three after an 0 for 2 start. Michelle, she started the year 3 for 23 from outside. She's finally finding her stroke again these last 2 games.
Yes, and you know what? They need it too.
Dalen didn't want to pull there on the elbow despite having space. She's been timid the last couple of games for the Zags. Shot clock winding. 5 on the clock. Ejim fires it hard off the hands of Jazzy Owens, and the Bulldogs will keep this with 3 to shoot.
You know what? You got to give credit to Rice. They are doing a great job defensively, keeping their players in front of them. And then offensively, they seem so poised, and they're just running what they want to run. They're dictating the whole tempo of this game right now.
O'Connor checks back in for the Zags. So does Mount Hybens. 3 to shoot. Off the hands of O'Connor. She's got to chuck it. Man, that would have been a heat check from her after her good start to the game.
It sure would have.
Dominique Ennis has been quiet so far despite leading the team in points per game this year. The Zags have locked her down. Maybe the point guard, Jazzy Owens, can take over this offense. Ennis still can't get her first points. Betancourt was on her tight.
She was. She put a lot of pressure on her, made that a difficult layup, and obviously she missed it.
Betancourt had the one-on-one she so often likes. Down to Mount Hypens. Osorobo passing through that zone pays off.
Hey, the 3 is alive in the kennel. Osorobo getting her 3 points and on the board. Wow. Big shooting night for the Zags.
Bulldogs 5 for 7 from beyond the arc. A foul on Osorobo. Reached in just a little bit too close. And look at this, Vera Gunaiden checking in early. Part of the reason this is because Gonzaga only has 9 players dressed for tonight's game because of so many injuries. But Michelle, I'm not sure we thought Osorobo and Gunaiden would get in so fast regardless.
No, we didn't. But, you know, I think like we talked about, the Zags are still trying to find their identity and their flow with players coming in and out. And right now, they're just trying to look for somebody who's going to lock people down on defense and not get beat off the dribble.
Owens through the lane. Klazak, great pass. And Rice finishes to make it a 3-point game.
Klazak just doing a lot of good things for her team right now. That was an off-ball cut and positioned herself for an easy layup.
They are so good at those last-second passes. Ejim working on Adams. Again, she comes up just a little bit short. This is kind of an off night for Vonnie so far.
So far, yeah, but I'm okay with that shot. She normally can knock it down.
Owens gave it up, and Betancourt will take it back for the Zags. Had Ejim open, and they'll reset. Hybens didn't want to pull. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half, and Ejim gets another 2.
And I like to see that. That's why Ejim, she always takes a couple of those outside jumpers. She missed those last few, but she does that so she can open herself inside for the drive, because you have to play Ejim for all of those positions. Whether she shoots it or she drives it, she can do it all.
Last shot of the quarter for Rice. Owens gives it off to Klezak. Gotta go up. Clanks it, and Gulafak, the rebound, no foul, and that's the end of the quarter. The Bulldogs lead by 5, but it has been electric so far, and the second is coming up next. Gonzaga leading Rice by 5 to start the second quarter here from Spokane as we welcome you back. The reason, Michelle, they have this lead is really because of Claire O'Connor.
It is. She has done a phenomenal job. I mean, coming in, she was shooting 50% from the 3, 5 of 10, but it was kind of like, hey, Claire, can we get some more shots from you? And she just started out on fire tonight. 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the three-point line. She is doing exactly what the Zags need her to do tonight.
The numbers have been helpful more than anything else. She looks really confident out there tonight.
She does, and you love to see that from your guards, because you're going to get it not only from Allie Turner, the true freshman, but now you get to see it from Claire O'Connor too.
That's 9 points now for Haley Adams, who has made her name this year as more of a rebounder, but the Zags are just letting her get in there.
Yeah, she has found her groove today, and it's given everything to Rice.
Claire O'Connor looking for her 10th point. She won't get it there, but she made a good effort at her own rebound. Adams on the move, leaves it off. Underneath, Gooden, a little bit hard. Trinity Gooden just got back from injury this week. And Turner back into the game and gets the rebound for the Bulldogs.
Key play by O'Connor down there, because Rice had the rebound and she stripped it out from him.
McKinley Dalen. She loves her mid-range shots. That one just wouldn't go. She was so good in the season opener. 12 against Minnesota, has been quieter since then. And the Zags will get this one back off the hand.
And again, it's just, you know, she's coming in behind Yvonne Ejim. She's trying to find her spot. They're trying to find their chemistry within the team. And right now, she's got guards who are shooting the ball really well. So that's going to take away from some of the shots she could take.
Turner, a little bit short. And out of bounds. And there was a push as that ball was loose. Turner to inbound here for the Zags. Out top for Hybens, who's 0 for 2 shooting so far. Outside to O'Connor, who's 2 for 2 from 3. 10 on the shot clock. Zags got to make a move. Hybens with 5 to shoot on Ngulafak. And they'll send that one across on the over and back, and the shot clock violation. What happened on that possession, Michelle?
Well, Hybens is letting Ngulafak just intimidate her in a way. You know, she's a big, strong body, but Hybens needs to square her up, get in a tough triple threat position, take her off the dribble, or take a shot. Get her, I mean, now she's taking a seat and she's going to take a break, but they need to keep going at her and not allow her to intimidate her.
Adams already has 9 points. Ines Betancourt nearly had the steal. Gooden into the lane, taken away by Hybens. That's only the 3rd turnover this game for Rice. They did a good job taking care of it. And a travel on Betancourt.
It was close, but yeah, I love Betancourt being aggressive on that transition, trying to create something, but she did take one too many steps. Question for you, Michelle. The last 3 games, Ines Betancourt only has 3 assists.
Does it need to be more than that as the point guard?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if she's putting up 17 points like she did the other night, then that means you're not going to have as many assists because you're shooting the ball.
Klezak shoots the ball again, but now she's 1 for 3 from outside. Betancourt. Ejim lost the handle. Klezak on the move. Really heads up play by the senior. Adams again working on Ejim. And Vani smacks her away, but this will stay Rice ball.
Big block by Ejim, her first one of the game, and that kind of sends a message to Adam, who has had a very good start here to say, hey, I'm big inside too. Yep, step away. This is my court.
Rice has not scored in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Flores tries to change that, and she does. It's back to a 1-point game after the 2 from the TCU transfer.
Their mid-range game, Rice is just, like I said earlier, they just seem like they're so in control. They know what they're doing. They have so much intensity, and they're knocking down shots.
O'Connor didn't have a lot of space, and it doesn't matter. She's got 10 points.
Nice to see O'Connor. Not only can she shoot the 3, but she can curl off a little screen and knock down a little floating layup.
This is Shelby Hayes working out top, who just got into the game. Adams looks like a point guard out there. Back to her. 11 points. The Bulldogs can't stop her.
Just those defensive breakdowns, right, Greg? It's just reading the scouting report and playing fundamental defense.
Dalen has been quiet. Here's Betancourt. Pops and drains it.
She got the little curl around the ring there to see that ball drop through the net. I like that little pull-up jumper by Betancourt. She's very smooth. I love that when she knocks it down.
Hayes, speaking of the mid-range, Michelle, that one won't go, but those have gone the rest of the night.
Yes, it has.
Betancourt in traffic. Annis got her with an elbow. That's a foul on their leading scorer on the season.
And that's only their second team foul right now in this quarter.
It's been a clean game.
It has. And you know what? I appreciate the referees they're really letting them play. There's been a lot of contact, but they've let it go, which is how it should be. But Gonzaga needs to continue to be strong as they're dribbling in and creating contact to try to get to the free throw line.
Betancourt has gotten more comfortable shooting as this game has gone along from the point guard spot. Turner, the freshman, out of bounds.
Out of bounds. It looked like she got pushed just a little bit, but again, they're kind of letting them play tonight like we just talked about. They're letting some physicality just go, and so that's just a freshman move there, just understanding how they're calling the game, and if you're going to go baseline, you might not get that call.
Here's Victoria Flores. Smaller guard-oriented lineup on the floor right now for the Owls. Adams makes Gonzaga pay again. 13 points. She is 6 for 7 from the field.
I don't know how you defend that, Greg. I mean, Yvonne Ejim, who's arguably one of the best post defenders, had a hand up in her face. That's a tough shot. Great job by Adams.
Allie Turner started the game hot. Since then, she's gotten a little bit cooler. Osorobo. That one way off the mark. And Rice, a chance to take the lead for the first time in this ball game. It's Alexis for her first shot, little hard off the iron. And the Zags will keep the lead for now. Inside 5 minutes to play in the half. Dalen. What has been up with her the last couple games?
You know, here's the thing. That's a good shot. She can shoot that shot, but she hasn't knocked it down. So if I'm coach, I'm probably telling her, hey, move it around, right? Let's try to get an easy shot inside.
Well, Gonzaga finally gets Haley Adams to miss for the first time in what seems like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Down to Ejim, and that's the All-American move.
Right there, Ejim never gave up on that play. She was fighting for post position, and right when she had her opportunity, Allie was ready to deliver the basketball to her. Great job.
That was a pass at just the right moment. Adams. Finally, Gonzaga makes her miss 2 shots in a row. Something might be in the works for them on defense.
I think her and Ejim are going at it, and they're trying to, battle the bigs inside.
Ivani's got her hands full on the defensive end, that's for sure. Off the hands of Ejim. She might be a little bit tired, and here comes Flores. Tipped away by Turner. This will go back to the Zags as it bounced last off the hand of Victoria Flores. Well, these teams are hitting each other back and forth. The Zags still lead by 3.
Driving, lob inside, alley-oop!
Gonzaga leads Rice by 3, despite the fact that their bench is an absolute mash unit right now. The Bulldogs only have 9 players dressed tonight because they have 4 serious injuries.
They do. You see Esther Little has missed 2 of their games due to concussion. Dalton, 4 games to a foot injury, and then Whitaker, 4, which is undisclosed, and then Salenbine at the ACL. That's difficult, right, Greg, when you're trying to find your consistency and flow and you have so many key, good players that are not able to suit up.
And now the 9th player is onto the floor, the walk-on Ella Hopkins. They're gassed. Betancourt, little short on the 3, and now Rice will push. This is Anaya Alexis running the point, who they're very high on, the freshman. Down low, and it's back to a 1-point game as Shelby Hayes converts.
And you know what? Kudos to Rice. They're doing a great job of ball movement, passing, and cutting. And Gonzaga just defensively, they just haven't picked up that intensity to have active hands and try to get a tip on basketballs.
Hybens hesitant to shoot. Betancourt. 10 on the shot clock. A lot of bench players in the game right now for the Zags. Pulls. O'Connor a little bit off. That pass was behind Dominique Ennis. That should have been points.
It should have, yes.
Rice a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game. Back down to Klazak. Hayes gives Rice their first lead as we approach the end of the first half. Bulldog defense looks gassed out there, Michelle.
They do. They're tired. Like I said earlier, Rice is just controlling the whole tempo of this game.
Connor chases down her own board. Hybens, that ball's loose. Stays with Gonzaga.
And you see right there how scrappy Rice is. I mean, Gonzaga trying to get that offensive rebound. Hybens trying to pull it in, and they're just all over the place, getting tips on basketballs and not allowing Gonzaga to find any sense of flow or grabbing the basketball.
Starters back onto the floor for the Zags. Bulldogs haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. Bad time to go cold. Ejim crosses her up. Comes up short. O'Connor, the great offensive rebound, and the putback to put the Zags back in the lead.
And O'Connor just pulling through with big energy plays for the Zags. That was a huge offensive rebound putback.
Massive for Claire. Give the sophomore 12 points. What a great pass to Ennis, and Rice responds.
And that's the second, maybe even third backdoor cut that the Zags have been lost on. They need to make sure that their defense is honed in at this halftime break and figure out how to defend this Rice team.
Might be more than 3. Betancourt, short off the iron. O'Connor, the offensive rebound, and another chance for the Bulldogs. Betancourt looking to land a punch. Wave it off. A travel.
That's a tough one for me, Greg. I'm just going to say it. The one earlier that they called her on was a travel. That, to me, was not. She still picked up.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah.
Okay. Replay has me second guessing.
Rice up 1, a minute to go in the half. Klazak up and under, no. And Claire O'Connor is everywhere on the floor for the Bulldogs.
She is. She's doing all those little things, and she's scoring, right? Like, Claire is bringing the heat for the Zags.
She'll pull. O'Connor, no. Ejim, no. A third chance for the Zags. O'Connor gets another offensive rebound. That ball's loose, and Claire's got it. This is going Rice's way.
I'll tell you what, Greg, they are letting them play, that is fine. Each team needs to adjust to the way that the referees are calling this game.
Coach Fortier furious on the bench. You don't usually see her like that. Usually a very cool head. Out of bounds as she fell down on the shoulder. Rice looking to extend this lead into the half. Klazak. Flores working on Hybens. Pops. Little short. And Allie Turner the rebound. The freshman's been great. And the Zags will hold for one last shot. They're one of their last 8 from the floor. Ejim, the preseason All-American, does it herself and converts and gives the Zags the lead headed into the half.
That was huge, and that's the player you go to close out a half with Yvonne Ejim.
We have a heavyweight fight on our hands in Spokane. What a great non-conference game this has been. Bulldogs the Owls by 1 after our first 20 minutes. And we're back with a halftime show in just a second on ESPN+. Hold on, no, that was my mistake. We are joined here by the great Lisa Fortier as she comes over for our halftime interview. Coach Claire O'Connor from the start of this game, so impressive. How do you feel about her right now?
Yeah, she's playing great. I think she's really given us a boost on offense. We've struggled to find someone who's being consistent, but except for her. But she's made everything I think she's touched on about, and she's flashing the offensive glass really well.
Coach, how do you feel about your team's defense in this first half, and what adjustments are you going to make in the second?
Yeah, 30 points isn't that bad. It's just we only have 31 of our own. And so I definitely think we let 22 get loose in areas where she's comfortable. We had some silly ones. We have to shore up some of the easy baskets and make them work for everything, and I think we would be in a better position right now.
Should be exciting, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
You know she has some things to say to this team at halftime. I would not want to be a fly on the wall in that locker room right now. We're back with more of the halftime show after this on ESPN+. Man, what a great first half of hoops. All right. Electric first half of college basketball here on ESPN+. 2 tournament teams from last year. Gonzaga leads Rice at the break 31-30. With the great Michelle Clark, I'm Greg Talbot here getting ready to call the second half. But before we do, let's show you our first half stats. The reason, Michelle, that Gonzaga's winning this game straight up is the three-point shots.
Those three-point shots, you're exactly right. They're knocking them down, 5 of 13. Rice only 1 of 6. And then those rebounds, they're out rebounding them just a little bit. It's not a lot, but look at the points in the paint. Even kill right there.
And that should not necessarily be the case from your opinion, I believe, because Rice is not nearly as big as Gonzaga.
They're not. And really, we should be dominating inside. They have the one big post player, and she's been really intimidating them. I would really love to see in this third and fourth quarter, Gonzaga really establish themselves a little bit more inside.
The one statistic you won't see on that screen is one of the most glaring. There have only been 2 total free throws in tonight's game. Gonzaga has not gone to the line once.
And we talked about it earlier, right? This refereeing staff is allowing them to be more physical, which is fine. That's what they're going to see in the NCAA tournament. They're going to let them play like that. Gonzaga hasn't been to the free throw line one time. Rice has been only once. And so they need to adjust to that physicality, because that's what we struggle with in postseason play when we get to the tournament, is that physical play and not being able to adjust. They need to take advantage of that tonight and treat it like an NCAA game.
That is something that is played both Gonzaga's men's and women's teams over the years is that kind of ticky-tack West Coast Conference refereeing. It's good to get some physicality before you get to conference play.
Yes, they got to like flex those muscles a little bit and just basically know that you're not going to get that foul. So you got to go in and really create it and finish through the contact.
Gonzaga only has 9 players available tonight. The question is, can they keep their legs fresh? They looked gassed even at the end of the first half.
They did, and this Rice team, like we said, they really are controlling the tempo of this game, and they're running the ball, they're penetrating. It does gas you when you're trying to play on-ball defense, and they're penetrating every single time down the court. So if Gonzaga makes some fundamental adjustments defensively and stops Rice from dominating this game with their tempo, it'll be a different third quarter.
Defense is the strength this year for the Owls. They're holding opponents to 37% shooting from the field. Gonzaga at 41 after the first half. That is way lower than they're used to.
It is way lower than they're used to. And again, they're just trying to find their identity, right? And they're coming out trying to find their identity with a tough preseason schedule.
Starters back on the floor for the Zags. Same goes for the Owls. Ngulafak looking huge there. She's been so good on defense. Underway for the second half. Rice shooting 42% from the floor, Gonzaga 41. It has been a heavyweight fight as Allie Turner pulls to begin the second half and comes up short, but Yvonne Ejim extends the lead.
Yvonne Ejim doing what she does, right? Just keeping her nose on the glass and getting an easy putback jumper.
Gonzaga got out to a nice big lead to begin this game. Rice held tough. Ejim takes it away and goes coast to coast. She's got the first 4 of the half.
And if that doesn't ignite your team from your super senior there, I don't know what does. Great job by Yvonne Ejim.
She was a little quiet in the first half.
She was trying to get her feet wet, trying to get to the rim, but that was a big outing right there.
Adams can't get her back, tries to chase down the rebound, and Ejim does it. The preseason All-American looking like she's ready to go off here in the second half. As the Zags slow it down. Inside 10 on the shot clock. Ejim almost had another 3 to start this half.
I like that action between Ejim and Betancourt, though. Those are 2 tough players to try to defend like that.
Is this natural that Vania is getting so much play to begin the second half, or is this something they planned?
I guarantee you it's something they had written up coming out of halftime.
Inside to Ngulafak. She's been busy on defense tonight, but she finally makes it work on offense.
She does, and that's where you got to have that strong side defender dig in on that basketball and not allow her to get positioned like that.
Betancourt gave the point guard too much space, but she can't deliver. Rice ball. How about the pace to start this second half, Michelle?
It's fast. It's up and down. Yvonne Ejim kind of kicked it off with that full court, steal and coast to coast there. But it's a fast ball game.
Jazzy Owens-Barnett to bring it across. So much of this roster is from Texas, about a third of it. Owens-Barnett, one of the local gals on this team. Betancourt, too much body as she chased down Ennis.
But you know what? I'm okay with that because she's being aggressive defensively. She was trying to shoot that passing gap to get a steal, and she just got caught on the wrong side and got a foul.
Seen so few fouls in tonight's game. If they're going to let them play, might as well see how far you can push it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Owens-Barnett. Here goes Ennis. She's finally got her first basket in a while. That's only 4 points for her on the night. Despite the fact that she's their leading scorer, the Bulldogs have bottled her up really well.
They really have. They've done a great job of on-ball defense with her, but she came off a curl cut. Nicely run by Rice.
Hybens, O'Connor. Backed him out on the give and go and draws the foul. She'll go to the free throw line for the first time.
I like that action. I was surprised that they got the foul call there, but nonetheless, it's nice to see the Zags get to the free throw line.
Hybens has not yet scored tonight, 0 for 2 from the field. Finally got her first point of the night. She has been busy on defense, though.
She has. She's been grabbing down rebounds, and she's been doing a good job inside defensively as well.
Also assists. Leads the team in assists this year, crazy enough for a power forward. Back to Klazak. Down to Ngulafak. Doubled up. Out to Owens Barnett, who draws the foul.
You know, it's so hard when you have a big like that inside where you're just focusing so much attention, and she kicks it out. Then everybody's scrambling, and they just got caught on the wrong side.
Owens Barnett also 0 for tonight, looking for her first points. Both teams clanking.
They're finally getting to the free throw line. You know, they got to make them count.
And she makes it a 1-point game. Gonzaga has had the lead for the vast majority of the game, but Rice did trade the lead a little bit midway through the second quarter. Hybens and Ngulafak. It's been a great forward matchup tonight. Ball screen for Turner. True freshman, bottled up. Back to her. She'll pull. With a gal in her face, not the wisest shot. Can't get them all.
Rice's on-ball defense is just ecstatic.
Owens Barnett gets the and one. She jumped right in for the foul and got the contact as well and puts the Owls back in the lead for the first time in the half.
She sure did. Look at this. Gonzaga just got caught resting for a second. Nobody knew who they had, and Barnett just took advantage of it.
Mount Hybens, wrong place, wrong time, not on purpose. Gonzaga has not scored a field goal in the last 3 minutes. See if they can wake back up on offense here. Down to the 4-1 Owls. To the corner, O'Connor. Her third three of the game.
And I would not leave O'Connor open like that. She did exactly what she needed to do and knocked that wide open three down.
15 points for Claire O'Connor, leads all scorers. Owens Barnett getting aggressive, and listen to the kennel come to the life. Cross court, Klazak delivers for Rice.
Hey, you've called it all night. Klazak's been kind of quiet. She can shoot that three ball. Well, she's coming alive now.
Rice has now hit their last 4 shots. Trying to double up Turner. The freshman won't give it up, and saved by Vonnie Ejim. O'Connor going for back-to-back buckets. Instead finds Betancourt. And the UConn transfer hits from 3.
And the three ball keeping the Zags alive right now.
7 for 19 from outside. That's 37% as a team. You'll take that.
Yes, absolutely.
Klazak drew contact on the perimeter. That'll be a foul on the Zags. That'll send us into immediate timeout on the floor. Bulldogs by 2. I think we're going to the horn with this one, folks. The players on this floor right now are gassed and simultaneously hyped up. Zags by 2 as we welcome you back. Down to Ngulafak, who can't convert. Second chance, she got it, double teamed.
That's a tough one. I mean, there was bodies. Ejim had a hand on the ball. That's just a big, strong basketball player able to finish through contact.
Tie game. Avon Ejim can't break the tie. How about Ganaiden? No, and Ngulafak the board. Is this probably the last time we'll see some of these deep subs just to get some of their starters a break on the legs?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a fast-paced game. Rice has really made Gonzaga play a much faster game that they would like to play, and so they've had to go a little bit deeper and draw on some more subs.
Betancourt, what a pass into Ejim, and she draws the foul.
Beautiful pass. I mean, she just threaded the needle in there to Ejim. She caught it, stayed strong with the basketball, and now she's finding herself at the free throw line.
Preseason All-American, 12 points on this game already. Chance for more with this foul. She's also got 7 rebounds, well on her way to yet another double-double.
And this is a super senior, right? We saw her come out in the start of this second half, this third quarter, bringing some energy to her team, saying, let's go, guys. We can match their energy.
She really set the pace, didn't she?
She did.
Vonnie heads to the bench, subbed in. Mount Hybens still just 1 point and no rebounds. This is not one of Hybens' better games.
No, but there's still plenty of time left for her to get active and do some really good things.
Cross court to Klazak, trying to break this Gonzaga zone. Hayes, great passing. Gooden into the lane and ties it up.
And with a team like Rice, who is not afraid to put the ball on the floor, that's what you worry with the zone, is that when they cross court and they get that rotation, there's open gaps.
Betancourt to Hybens. Still over from the field. Klazak a great board, and she's on the move. Coast to coast through the contact.
I mean, Rice has proven that they can do it, right? They are intense, strong basketball team, and they're going to be here to stay. And Gonzaga answers right back.
McKinley Dalen, nice to see her get her first points of the night after a quiet 0 start. And this thing is going down to the wire, man. It is kind of rare to see a very close game the whole way in this building. What a treat. Klazak off the mark. Betancourt the board. And Trinity Gooden yanked it away. Very impressive for the senior from Oklahoma.
This is a scrappy Rice team. They are on the basketball no matter what. You think it's in your hands, and they're coming at you.
Down to Hayes. What a great pass from Klazak. She couldn't get it, and Ganaiden yanks it away. Trinity Gooden got in there too physically, and that foul's on her. This game is getting more physical the closer we get to the fourth quarter.
It is, and I'd be curious to see how the refs start to call this game too. They've let a lot go. It's gotten very physical. Obviously, we've seen some players get to the free throw line now, but man, each team, they want it. They want it bad.
They want it bad. The Bulldogs will play quite a few more tournament teams before non-conference play is done, but this is the kind of game that gets this team ready. Turner's been quiet in the third quarter. And it's ripped away by Owens Barnett, and she does the damage. 4 straight off turnovers for Rice, and they're back in the lead.
And they're jumping that on-ball screen. You saw Turner just kind of get caught because they jumped it. They're crowding her, so she just needs to take a couple back dribbles, see the court, and then attack.
Bulldogs slowing it down. Corner for Claire O'Connor, their leading scorer tonight. 5 on the shot clock, tipped away by Alexis and out of bounds. 3 on the clock for the Zags, they'll keep it. Bulldogs want this basket to tie or retake the lead. Got to get rid of it. Hybens has to pull. Still 0 from the field tonight, Hybens, 0 for 4. Adams all the way. Force that one up. Second chance from Hayes, no. And O'Connor the rebound. She's now got 9. She's a board away from a double-double. Hybens for Turner. The freshman puts Gonzaga back in the lead.
And that's a huge, after Rice has a missed layup on that end to come down and knock down a big 3 by Turner.
She's now 4 for 7 from outside. Here's Alexis trying to get O'Connor back for what she just did. Hybens tips it away, and Rice will keep it.
Good defensive play by Hybens there. She just met her with her chest. Her arms were straight up, stripped the basketball from her. See Turner knocking that down. That's huge.
Osorobo back in for Gonzaga for some late in the quarter defense. Owens Barnett. Fouled. Ooh, crowd not happy.
No, I don't think the fans here in the kennel like that call. That was a tough one. There might have been a little body, but it looked like she just tripped. See her dribbling in. There's a little contact there with Hybens from this angle.
First free throw is good, by the way. She drills both, and Dalen will come back in for the Bulldogs for some mid-range jump shooting ability here in the next minute.
Yes.
Allie Turner calling Claire O'Connor back for the inbound.
And you see Rice picking up full court here, you know, with 57 seconds left in the third quarter. They're going to give it all they got.
Zags down 1 with a minute to go in the third. Ejim. The rare miss from the preseason All-American.
Yes, because, you know, we have seen her knock those shots down. And right now with the way the Gonzaga team is filling it from the 3, you'd think it would go. I don't know that that's the shot you want late in the third quarter like that, though.
Here's Ennis. Adams, red hot in the first half, and gets it in a big moment here in the second.
And Adams coming alive towards the end of the third quarter. They're big for her Rice team.
3-point lead for Rice. Only 1 second between the game clock and the shot clock. Turner, one-on-one with Flores. It's Ejim. Through the lane, underneath to Dalen. What a great pass! And she gets fouled, but did it get off in time?
I think it did get off in time, Greg. And great aggressive move by Ejim and sharing the basketball with her teammate. If it was off in time, Dalen will have 2 shots.
They're going to say she got rid of that in time. McKinley Dalen to the free throw line for her first trip. The Minnesota transfer. Those are the points you're going to want back in 10 minutes.
Yes, they will be.
Two-point game. Here's the TCU transfer. Flores for the heave. Absolutely not. Man, 30 minutes down, 10 to go. A 2-point game in this non-conference heavyweight fight between 2 tournament teams. We're back for the last 10 right after this on ESPN+.
There are captivating moments, celebrated achievements, and enriching experiences that provide lifelong memories. We see a boundless drive to capture titles and serve as ambassadors on our campuses and in our communities. As our footprint grows, we continue to blaze our path forward. We are passionate, we are collaborative, and we are committed to excellence. We are the West Coast Conference.
Gonzaga by 2 as we start your fourth quarter here on ESPN Plus. We knew this was going to be a tough game for the Zags. Rice on a 4-game winning streak. Michelle, it does not get any easier for them from here. Big tournament over Thanksgiving weekend, Texas Tech, Florida State.
Yes, big games coming ahead. They'll go to New Mexico, and then they'll go on the road for their Thanksgiving tournament, and those are some tough teams right there. So they're going to want to come into those with a win under their belt.
10 minutes to go here in Spokane. Both Gonzaga and Rice made the NCAA tournament last year, and they've played like it tonight. Haley Adams to start the fourth quarter gets it for Rice.
And Adams has been phenomenal this game, right? So I would go to her right out of the chutes, too. Nice little turnaround jumper for her.
Gonzaga shooting 41% as a team. They usually shoot over 50 in your average game as Turner responds.
That is such a big move for a freshman to make. Dribble penetration into the key, nothing's there, a little back dribble and then a little pop shot, and she knocked it down. Allie Turner, just a phenomenal player.
Give and go, Klazak to Adams, what a great play, but it's around and off.
Bad bounce out of the rim there for Adams, but bodes well for the Zags.
Zags will slow it down. Ejim, oh what a move, and she'll get the foul.
Nice start to the fourth quarter for the Zags coming out of the chute there.
Energy, right?
Big time, yes. And then go into your bread and butter. Ejim getting good position. She knew she was kind of out of spot there, but she at least drew the foul, and she's given herself two opportunities at the free throw line.
Ejim has 14 points. She's 2 for 2 from the line. Nine minutes left, tie game. They've got Victoria Flores running the point now for Rice. Their backup point guard from TCU, who has been very aggressive tonight. Ngulafak had her arm grabbed by Yvonne Ejim.
That is just a tough assignment inside there for Yvonne Ejim. Ngulafak, she takes up so much space down there, and Yvonne does a good job of trying to move her out.
O'Connor and Hybens back in, a little bit of height now for the Bulldogs.
Yes, and they need to use that to their advantage.
Back down to Ngulafak. What a pass from Emily Klazak. Exemplary.
Yes, and Hybens just having a heck of a time trying to get around her, and she took advantage of her and caught her on the wrong side for an easy 2.
The Rice passing has really been something tonight. Hybens had a tough night. Turner, a little bit short. And Flores pushes for the Owls. All the way. They let her through the lane. And Ejim the rebound. Bulldogs back the other way. Turner on Klazak. The senior on the freshman. Hybens down low to Ejim. What a great layoff pass.
Nice job by Ejim recognizing that open lane and making a cut to the rim, and Hybens to recognize her and dump it down for an easy 2.
Got a tie game again. It has felt like this was the final destination the entire way tonight. Klazak was open and a foul on the floor. They sent Trinity Good in there, and it was a push on Enesh Betancourt, her second foul.
It's like we talked about, it's a physical basketball game. There's this Rice team, they are heading to the rim every time that shot goes up. They're all trying to get that offensive rebound, and Gonzaga's getting caught on the wrong side and getting called for some fouls.
Into Ngulafak, now to Adams. Gooden, back to Owens Barnett. Up and under against Ejim, had to give it away. 10 on the shot clock. Klazak with the man in her face.
There's Klazak, big 3 for Rice, knocking it down.
Her third triple of this game for the Owls. This is a game Gonzaga thought they should win when they built their schedule in the offseason. And Klazak takes it away on Betancourt. Good in there for the rebound and the putback, no. And Egypt wants to slow this down now for the Zags.
Yes, and right call. They got away with that one right there. Rice could have scored. Gonzaga got lucky.
Turner. Did she step out of bounds? No, she was pushed. It feels like all the pressure is on Gonzaga right now. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. Because it is. It's a home court game, right? And they're looking to get a win, and this is a very good Rice team. And they kind of have the momentum right now.
Hybens to Betancourt. Egypt in the corner, not enough space. Off the foot, Rice ball. And Ngulafak says, let's go. Look at that emotion from the power forward.
Yes, she is trying to get her team.
Fortier screaming for a timeout on the Zags bench. She'll get one. We'll take it with them. Rice leading by 3, but don't you go anywhere. Mount Hybens was 0 for 3 from downtown to start this game. And when they finally needed one from her, she delivers. We've got a tie game here in the McCarthy Athletic Center. 61-61 with 5:19 to go. This game has seen 7 ties and 11 lead changes. It has been a heavyweight fight tonight, Michelle.
It really has. And you see Gonzaga here putting a little pressure on this little half-court trap here because they're going to do everything they can to slow this Rice team down.
Claire O'Connor, too aggressive, whistled for the foul. That's going to be her 4th.
And, Greg, we need her to stay on the floor. The way she's been shooting the basketball, we don't want her to get her 5th.
Gooden to inbounds. Back to her. Now to Adams. Good perimeter movement for the Owls. Owens Barnett fearlessly into the paint and rejected by Yvonne Ejim. Tangled up on the floor. Jump ball. This will be Gonzaga's.
Huge rejection by Yvonne Ejim stepping up there. I mean, basically costing Rice 2 points, right? Oh, no, that was Turner getting a hand on the basketball, and then Hybens tying it up.
Allie Turner led the team in blocks coming into this game. Isn't that something?
Yes. So unassuming.
Nearly out of bounds. Back to Turner. O'Connor winding the clock. Tipped away by Klazak. And a foul on the senior.
I thought Allie Turner had that shot at the top of the 3 there. She paused for just a second.
Turner to inbounds. Ejim connects. Gonzaga's pushed the tempo tonight. Now they slow it down. 10 on the clock. Way too aggressive from Haley Adams.
Great job by Betancourt, though, putting her shoulder down and taking the contact and making it evident for the referees to call that body check foul.
That is the 2nd personal on Haley Adams, despite how aggressive she's been tonight. Good for her for staying out of trouble.
Yes.
Now Turner has been a shooting star as a freshman this year for Gonzaga. O'Connor has been the star tonight. She was so close. Adams had her hand on it. She'll take it for Rice.
Great hustle play by Yvonne Ejim there. You see her arguing with the ref. I didn't have the ball, but I love to see her pursuing that basketball and trying to give her team a second opportunity.
Rice has not scored in 2 minutes since Gonzaga tied this game. Way too much there by Mott Hybens. Came flying in. Didn't see Trinity Gooden there. Now they're exchanging words, and Gooden is really chirping.
Hey, both of these teams are here to play, and both of these teams want to get a W, so you see a little bit of that chirping and aggressive nature.
And now they'll send Hybens off the floor after that foul. McKinley Dalen checks back in. What a great game this has been. The intensity in this building, you can feel it. Rice trying to break Gonzaga's zone. They've been good at it in the second half. Owens Barnett. Back to Klazak. Before she drove, they fouled Haley Adams. That's on Ines Betancourt.
And the physicality is coming out, right? And Betancourt, she came a little bit too aggressive over that screen just to try to get out to her defender and got caught.
Haley Adams. 20 points.
Adams came to play. She came aggressive right from the start. You watch her free throw and how high her shot is up above her head. It's so hard to defend. It makes her even longer than she is.
Clanks her second. Gonzaga ball. This may end up being Adams' best game of the season when all is said and done.
Yeah, and she should feel good about it. She came up against some tough Gonzaga players in Yvonne Ejim, and she proved she can play.
Betancourt. Owens Barnett's had her hands full with her all night. Little aggressive shooting over the junior guard and gives Rice a chance to extend this 1-point lead. This is now the 12th lead change of this basketball game. Gooden. Adams down to Ngulafak. Off the hands of Betancourt. Love the aggression, though.
Yes, and I love that help side defense and just anticipation of knowing they're going to throw the ball inside and trying to get it on the backside.
Owens Barnett to inbound. Rice has not scored in nearly 3 minutes. Great pull from Owens Barnett. Ngulafak the rebound and the second chance from the 6'4 senior who delivers.
It's a tough assignment to keep her out of the three-point key there and off the glass. Yvonne Ejim doing all she could on that, just wasn't enough.
Zags down 3. Ejim. Over to Dalen. She loves the mid-range, and that's why she's in the game.
Yes, nice little dish pass by Yvonne Ejim. Feet were set, got the nice little kiss off the rim there to drop in.
And take the 2 there.
Yes.
And listen to this Kennel Club in the band. All the way, Owens Barnett rejected by Allie Turner, the true freshman, with another highlight.
Allie Turner, so good at maneuvering her body, not getting any contact on that and stripping the basketball. Big play.
Ejim into the paint, leaves it off for Dalen. Missed it inside. Claire O'Connor's second chance and the foul.
Gotta love Claire O'Connor. I love how she pursues that basketball and giving her team another shot and a chance to knock down some free throws.
Allie Turner, how dare you?
She says, not in my house.
Ejim to the bench for the Zags. Just for a minute to get her a breather. Here's Claire O'Connor with 15 points. For the lead. No, sir. Mount Hybens tipped that one away. This will be Rice's ball with another tie game. Our 9th tie of tonight's game.
It is all about stop, score, stop at this point for the Zags. If they can string together some stops, get a couple scores, they can turn the tables.
Owens Barnett against O'Connor. 2 stars tonight. 10 to shoot. Gooden to the rim. No. Gonzaga ball.
Hey, that's the first stop. That's the first stop. Minute 55 left now, Greg. So if Gonzaga can come down, run some sound offense, get a good look at the rim, and then another stop, and things can look in their favor.
Gonzaga subs Yvonne Ejim back in, the preseason All-American. Watch for her in the next minute 50. Hybens just hit a big three. Back to her. Claire O'Connor, Gonzaga's leading scorer. Ejim over to Turner, running the clock down. The freshman looking for Betancourt. Got to put it up with 5 to shoot. To the corner for O'Connor. Yes, sir!
I love the patience by the Zags there, working the basketball around to make sure they got the best shot, and the best shot was Claire O'Connor in the corner.
Gonzaga's on a 6-0 run. That was their 10th three-pointer of tonight's game. And stolen away by Mount Hybens. Allie Turner pushes for the Zags, and now she'll slow it down with a 3-point lead.
Hey, they started with the stop, the score, a second stop.
Our referee just blew his whistle at Gonzaga's head coach Lisa Fortier. And they'll say inbound it over here on the near side.
I think he thought coach was calling for a timeout, and she looked at him and said, no, I wasn't calling a timeout. She was just talking to her team.
I'm just yelling.
I'm just yelling.
Inside a minute to play, Bulldogs by 3. Ejim. Biggest shot of the night.
So big, and Ejim can knock those down. Super senior steps up with confidence and knocks down the jumper.
Bulldogs on an 8-0 run to close this thing out.
It is electric.
It is hard to win as a road team in this building, Michelle.
That it is, Greg.
Absolutely electric in this building. Claire O'Connor, yes, sir.
Huge play for the Zags there. And then our super senior, Yvonne Ejim, knocking down the little jumper from the baseline. And everything just erupted in here.
Gonzaga had won 36 consecutive home games entering this season. They lost to Cal last week. That ended that streak. But you're watching this at home right now. Look at this crowd. You can see why it is so hard to win in the Kennel.
It is. I mean, this is a basketball town, right? You get the whole environment in here for a women's basketball program. And Rice, you know what? Credit to them. They came in ready. This isn't, both of these teams are NCAA caliber teams that I'm excited to watch in come March.
Gonzaga, in all likelihood, will be there. If Rice plays like this, might see in the second round or something.
Yep.
Rice not going away yet. 5 points is nothing in 40 seconds, but they haven't scored in almost 3 minutes. Ennis. She has been quiet all night, their best shooter on the season. Betancourt the rebound. But they were tangled up, no foul. This should be Gonzaga basketball. Referees are discussing this. No, we have a foul on the play. Not what they originally said. This is on Owens Barnett. It's Zag ball anyway, and free throws.
Betancourt did a great job of securing that basketball, and it got tied up. She got fouled. You can see both teams are super aggressive. Both teams want this game. These free throws are very important for Betancourt right now to really, truly seal this deal for the Zags.
Still just 5 points on the night scoring for the UConn transfer. But she's phenomenal. Stealing, passing, and pushing. When they need her, she delivers. That's a 6-point game. That's doable for Rice, but it's going to be tough.
It is, and it will be tough because this is a tough Gonzaga basketball team too, and they're going to come out with a different game plan, probably put a little full court pressure just to slow them down a little bit and force them into a bad shot.
It has been a hot minute since it has felt like this in this building for a women's game.
And it's
Usually it's blowouts.
You're right, totally, Greg. And it's so fun to experience this early on. I mean, these are two great teams, especially for the Zags, you know, going into the next set of games that they have after this one and the Paradise Jam tournament for Thanksgiving. This is going to give them that confidence that they need going into more tough matchups in this preseason.
I think a lot of people expected them to beat Cal, not lose to Cal last week. This is the kind of game where you get your groove back.
It is, and it gives the team some confidence in the new lineup that they have.
But it's not done yet. Rice trying to get back in it. Pull from Ennis won't go. Chased down by Adams, and Betancourt has it. Going back Gonzaga's way, there was a foul on the baseline, and Gonzaga are ready to put this thing on ice.
Great hustle play there, too, by Yvonne. Put a little pressure. Betancourt was waiting right there with the basketball.
6 and 7 points are very different. It's a 2 or 3 possession game, depending on if Betancourt can ice this now. What a clutch last 5 minutes by this Gonzaga team.
Stop, score, stop.
A 10-0 run to close this thing out. A foul, though, on the rebound. No, a timeout after the rebound by Rice. And Coach Lindsay Edmonds in her 4th season trying to draw up a miracle comeback.
And these are good moments for these teams early in the preseason because these are teaching moments, right? You're able to draw up play, late game situation. This is where we want the basketball. These are the movements that we want to see. So it's good opportunity for teaching moments for both of these teams in the late game situation.
This will be the 2nd consecutive year that Rice and Gonzaga held each other to under 50% shooting.
Yeah.
That is a couple of great defenses.
Yes, it is. And I think the Zags would have to be happy about their adjustments defensively in the 3rd and 4th quarter of this game. They picked up the intensity. It started with Yvonne Ejim at the very beginning of the 3rd quarter, right? She came out with so much intensity, got a couple steals, knocked down some jumpers. That kind of changed that trajectory for the Zags.
Claire O'Connor and Yvonne Ejim, absolute monsters tonight for this Bulldog team, playing like they want to get back in the top 25. Klazak off the iron. Betancourt pulls it down. A foul. Oh, no, a travel coming from our back judge here.
Interesting.
Owens Barnett to inbound. Klazak. She's a big three-point shooter, but can't get it late. And a foul on the rebound.
I mean, it's not over until the final buzzer rings, right, Greg? Both these teams still staying very aggressive and going after the basketball.
Couple late free throws now for Rice. Gonzaga with a gift here to them. Owens Barnett has 5 points. 6-point game all of a sudden. This is more doable. Couple of clutch free throws. Lisa Fortier wants a timeout for Gonzaga, and it's time to choose our player of the game. A couple options for both these teams, but ultimately for the big shots and the big moments. And considering she's been kind of quiet so far this season, welcome to the club, Claire O'Connor.
Welcome to the club, Claire O'Connor. She really did it all, Greg. Knocking down shots, like you said, big-time threes at crucial moments, but then doing a lot of the other things too, not grabbing rebounds, getting tips on basketballs, all the little hustle plays. She's had a great all-around game.
And with a rebound in that last couple minutes, a double-double, 19 and 10, plus 2 assists and a steal.
Yeah, Claire has got to feel good about this game. She really did kind of lead the charge for the Zags the entire game.
This also opens up an interesting discussion. When Esther Little is healthy, who goes back to the bench, Claire or Allie Turner? They've both been so good tonight and this year. Gonzaga trying to put it on ice, and they'll foul Turner.
Well, you know, that's, I guess, the silver lining, if you want to say, to having players who are sitting out with an injury. It gives an opportunity to some of the other teammates to step up and, you know, take more shots than maybe they wanted or needed them to do, because you've got key players who are out with injury.
Turner rattles it home. And they did it again tonight with 4 injuries. Only 9 healthy players for Gonzaga available. Ejim, jump ball, Rice possession. Not over yet. Rice would need to hit 2 threes in immediate succession. Owens Barnett. Got to go up with it. She'll take the 2. Corner. Ennis delivers with .1 on the clock, but that's not enough time. Gonzaga withstands a late scare from the 4-1 Rice Owls and survives.
They snuck away with it. They stayed in the game the whole time. They've got to feel good about that. They made adjustments, but then at the end, that stop, score, stop, and coming up with some big shots for the Zags really sealed the deal.
Gonzaga's defense came up big when it mattered. Rice closed the game 1 for 7 shooting. Rice will finish this game 42% from the field. Gonzaga 45%. These defenses did it again, Michelle.
They did. I mean, both of these programs are so well-rounded. Great defensive teams. I was very impressed with Rice and how they came out and how they moved the basketball defensively, their intensity, getting tips on basketballs. Both of these teams are high-caliber basketball teams.
Gonzaga improves to 3-2 on the season, a huge bounce-back win after that unexpected loss to Cal last week. Well, the Thanksgiving tournament awaits after the game at New Mexico, but they can feel great heading into it. As for this one, though, the Bulldogs win by 3. Lisa Fortier can breathe a sigh of relief because this team finally showed that they can close out big moments.
Yes, and that's huge going into some of those games that they have coming up. Plus, finding your identity in this preseason. If you know you can close out games, that's a big one to run with.
Yvonne Ejim did it, Allie Turner did it, and Claire O'Connor did it, and the Bulldogs do it. A 3-point win. For Michelle Clark and our ESPN Plus crew, I'm Greg Talbot saying good night from Hooptown, USA, where the Bulldogs are back on top.